Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, welcome to the Politics channel that brings to you political analysis across our political divide in the Kenyan equation. And so that you don't forget, I am back. I've been away for quite a while, just for some errands I've been running, just to bring things together for the goodness of my tomorrow. And now I'm here with the deepest analysis you will find in our political environment. As all of you are aware that a lot has really happened within our political circles. A lot, a lot, a lot. The opposition seems to be pulling the strings together now, and the president, with his government, together with the ODM leader, also seems to be, bringing every asset together. As though not being said, we prepare for 2027 general elections. Whereas the opposition is looking to unseat the incumbent president, William Ruto, the president himself is seeking to retain the presidency. It is only time that will tell the truth. So today I want to bring you my perception and my take on what is, or rather, what lies ahead of the opposition for them to be able to unseat the president. Yesterday, we have seen the opposition converge at Shikuru in Kalonzo's home. On the other hand, we saw the government, together with the ODM party, have a development tour, the so-called development tour of the Nyanza region. And so, remember, in politics, nothing happens by mere coincidence. Everything is planned and executed properly, you know, to make sense or to send a message. And so, if we look at the opposition right now, there's one man who is taking the opposition in full blown of the day, and that is Geoffrey Rigathi Gachagua. He is the emblem, he is the voice of the opposition, he is the symbol of opposition. When he speaks, the government shakes. He's a man of the moment. He's the man who is giving the president and its allies sleepless nights. Because he can speak, he can execute, he can marshal, he can mobilize. He knows how to speak, he knows how to, entice himself to the masses. He speaks the language of the masses. And this man is Rigathi Gachagua. And so I want today to analyze why Rigathi Gachagua is the man to beat. Not because he's going to fight to become president, but because he's going to be a key figure in determining who becomes president in the coming elections of 2027. And my first reason why I think Rigathi Gachagua is the man to beat is because he has everything to prove to the government, and specifically William Samoei Ruto, His Excellency. Rigathi Gachagua, it's obvious that he is on a revenge mission. Remember, after his impeachment, everybody in government thought that Rigathi Gachagua would be persona non grata. But how wrong could they be? Because currently, if there's a politician who is untouchable, who now has the freedom to say, to do anything as he wishes, is Rigathi Gachagua. They tried to arrest him, but hell almost broke loose, and the mission had to be aborted. Because you know what? Probably the country would have burned. So Rigathi Gachagua is the man to beat because he has everything, he has nothing to lose, but then he has everything to prove to the president that he is man enough and that he can always fight back from a political sense. You have seen him stand and evoke emotion to masses when he says that Wewe Kasongo, everybody says one term. Wewe Mwizi, everybody says one term. That is a political language that Rigathi Gachagua has perfected. And by doing so, he stands a better chance to be the voice that will be the alternative voice that will send William Ruto packing. And only time will tell. You have seen Rigathi Gachagua assemble all, the big fish of the opposition in his Wamunyoro home. And that was the rebirth of the new frontier of the opposition. And for that reason, I believe that Rigathi Gachagua is surely the man to beat because he has nothing to lose, but he has everything to prove to the government of the day and specifically to the president of the Republic of Kenya. Number two, why I believe that Rigathi Gachagua is the man to beat is because, remember, he comes from a vote-rich region, the Mount Kenya region. This is a region which has been known historically for voting as a bloc. So when Rigathi Gachagua is able to bring the Amerus, the Aembus, the Agikuyus together, and now the Mount Kenya South, the Kamba people together, he will have the largest voice in terms of the voting bloc. And so that unilaterally makes him the man to beat. Because the man that he says, Kalonzo Tosha, Matiang'i Tosha, Karua Tosha, Wamala Tosha, whoever he mentioned that he supports, I can tell you he will give President William Ruto a run for his money. And that intrinsically, explicitly, implicitly, intrinsically makes him the man to beat in the coming elections. Remember, Mount Kenya alone can produce almost 6 million voters. 6 million voters. If the turnout is at least 90%, that could mean then that he would have 5.4 million votes. So that is a starting basket of the person who will be supported by Rigathi Gachagua to compete with President William Ruto. So you can see clearly why Rigathi Gachagua is the man to beat. In other words, he is the kingmaker in the coming election. So he simply takes that position of the kingmaker because it's a do or make for him. He has to produce the votes, and he seems to have successfully brought Mount Kenya together, and they are all singing the tune. Very soon, and very, very soon, it will be clear that Rigathi Gachagua is the man to beat. And number three, why I believe that Rigathi Gachagua is the man to beat is his ability to mobilize. Literally, Rigathi Gachagua can go to every place in this country and mobilize because he means business. The man is fearless. The man speaks truth to power. The man, when he gets the mic, you will know someone will be demolished. Someone will be left, for dead. He makes everyone his fodder. So the fact that he's aggressive, the fact that he's fearless, the fact that he understands politics, him being a political scientist, he has repeatedly said that he is not talking about political mathematics by mere facts of them, but first and foremost, he is a political scientist. And so that makes him so lethal, that then he knows what he's doing. And he seems to have perfected that art because he knows that he has the numbers and he knows where to get the numbers. And that is what shakes the government. And that is what makes him the man to beat in the coming election. And number four, finally, this is for me the most important. This guy has worked with William Ruto. He has hosted William Ruto at his home in Wamunyoro many times. He actually worked as the deputy president to the president, William Ruto. He's a man who understands. He knows how the elections were won in 2022. He knows whether they rigged. He knows all the tricks they applied. He knows the character, the demeanor, and the persona of one William Ruto, the president, inside out. So really, he understands the steps and the doings and the temperament of William Ruto, the president. And for that matter, it is working to his advantage. Because it is William Ruto who really wanted to become president, it is him, William Ruto, who had to go out there and show his true colors or his fake colors to the Wamunyoro man to actually consolidate his support. And because they have been friends, but there is a sense of betrayal. Now, Rigathi Gachagua knows William Ruto very well, and so he stands as the best alternative, to send William Ruto home, not because Wamunyoro is the best, but because he understands the enemy. He understands the person they are fighting. He is the fish who has come out of the river and is telling us that the crocodile is sick. So we, as the people outside there who wanted to go to the river and swim, and the fish is telling us that, you know what, the crocodile is sick. What do we have to do? We have to trust the fish, because honestly, we were not living in water. It is only the fish who knows what goes on inside water. So William Ruto, or rather Rigathi Gachagua, is telling us that the crocodile is sick, and we have to believe that Kenyans will believe that the crocodile is surely sick because only the fish has come from the water. So Rigathi Gachagua understands the steps, the behaviors, the temperament of William Ruto, and that is going to work to his advantage. And therefore, that sense of knowing your enemy in advance, oh my goodness, it is what you require to fight that enemy. And that makes Rigathi Gachagua a tool for use, the sole purpose of unseating President William Samoei Ruto. And for that, he is the man to beat in the coming election. That is my take. I don't know what is your take. You can always share in the comment section. Let us learn and unlearn and learn and be wise and understand our political game. Later in the day, I'll produce a video to tell you why the president and Raila Amolo Odinga are in a marriage of convenience, are in a marriage of disloyalty, are in a marriage of desperation, and why the center will not hold further as we move towards 2027 elections. Until then, have a nice time. And once again, let us continue to subscribe to this channel and learn and grow together. Thank you very much.